Welcome back, Focus Learners. Okay, get ready because today we're embarking on a truly epic journey of, well, geographic proportions. In today's explainer, we're breaking down the ultimate geographical trivia challenge. We're going to look at exactly what it takes to identify every single country on Earth solely by looking at their national flag. And we're talking about a challenge that scales meticulously, you know? It starts off as this gentle, easy warm-up just to build your confidence, and then it culminates in an absolutely impossible gauntlet that will literally test the limits of your memory. So definitely sharpen your focus because we are jumping right into the deep end of global vexillology. Okay, let's dive into this. Because the number 195 really represents the sheer volume and monumental scale of this task. We're not just talking about the countries that make the evening news or, the places you might have visited on a summer vacation. No way. Attempting to correctly identify all 195 countries in the world requires this almost encyclopedic visual recall. I mean, out of the thousands of colors, stars, stripes, and crests, you have to successfully match 195 distinct banners to their correct sovereign states, one after another, without breaking a single sweat.
To conquer all 195, we'll follow a super clear roadmap. We start with the easy warm-up, then move to testing your skills, push through the hard level, and finally face the impossible hero level.
This four-step structure isn't just about organizing a list. It is literally a masterclass in the psychology of trivia. By starting with step 1, the warm-up, the challenge intentionally lulls you into this state of high confidence. You get a winning streak going. But as you progress through steps 2 and 3, that safety net is yanked right out from under you, turning the whole experience into a true hero's journey. By the time you reach step 4, you aren't just taking a quiz anymore. You are engaged in the ultimate trivia boss battle, fighting to prove your global awareness.
All right, let's kick things off with section 1, the easy warm-up.
The source material sets the stage perfectly with this really welcoming prompt, easy level to warm up. Guess the first country. It immediately invites you into this highly interactive, fast-paced environment. And let's be honest, it feels so good to get those first few right, doesn't it? It triggers that little hit of dopamine in your brain, securing your engagement for the long haul.
Just look at the flags they strategically place right at the beginning to establish that winning rhythm. We've got the United Kingdom, Canada, India, the United States, Brazil, Italy, China, and Japan. Actually, notice how many of these rely on simple, striking color blocks. These are the globally recognizable heavy hitters, for sure. Their flags are deeply embedded in pop culture, international sports, daily news, the whole shebang. You see these, you instantly know them, and suddenly you're flying through the quiz feeling totally invincible.
The source maintains this interactive momentum by regularly prompting you with the question, which country is this, right before throwing out slightly trickier but still highly familiar early answers like Ireland or South Africa. You're still in the safe zone here, but your brain is starting to actively scan for color arrangements like the green, white, and orange of Ireland or that super vibrant multicolored Y shape of South Africa.
Moving right along to section 2, testing your skills.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark contrast it presents. You go from the automatic, effortless recognition of familiar, easy countries, think France and Spain, and suddenly, bam, you hit a wall with the first medium challenges like North Korea and Lithuania. It's a brilliant jolt to the system. You transition from passively just knowing the answer to actively having to search your memory banks for the correct geographical association.
The source gives a fair warning here, stating explicitly, the medium level will test your skills. This specific prompt is absolutely crucial for the participant. It effectively says, hey, that casual warm-up, yeah, that's officially over. We're now entering a deliberate, calculated test of your memory. If you aren't paying close attention, well, this is exactly where your winning streak ends.
To really understand why this tier is tougher, let's run through a quick sampling of these medium-tier countries: Bangladesh, Sweden, El Salvador, Croatia, Iran, and Iraq. Notice how the geographical spread becomes so much wider and significantly less obvious? We're jumping rapidly from South Asia to Scandinavia, darting over to Central America, bouncing back to the Balkans, and then finishing up in the Middle East. It forces your brain to constantly shift regional contexts, making it so much harder to rely on just simple intuition.
And now things get serious. Section 3, the hard level.
Let's see what you're made of with the hard level. I just love how dramatic this quote from the source material is. It completely drops that friendly quizmaster persona and marks a very distinct shift from a fun, casual game right into a serious, grueling test of endurance.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what makes the hard level so punishing. Just look at this selection: Nigeria, Pakistan, Mongolia,
Latvia, Turkey, Guyana, Montenegro. The flags here are no longer your casual household names. You can't just rely on pop culture anymore. Getting these right demands deep, specific regional geographical knowledge. You literally have to know the specific crest of Montenegro or the distinct green and white bars of Nigeria.
And then, the source drags you even deeper into obscurity. You're hit with the Vatican, Indonesia, Burkina Faso, Bhutan, Botswana, Benin. Surviving this block of the explainer requires separating closely related flags and recognizing nations that, frankly, rarely dominate global headlines. Did you notice that string of B countries, Burkina Faso, Bhutan, Botswana, Benin? The quiz forces you to untangle flags that not only belong to less globally publicized nations, but they often share super similar regional color palettes too.
The tension is pretty palpable by this point in the source material. Imagine staring at the screen as it asks, "Guess this flag?" You are on flag number 135. You're exhausted. Your brain is swimming in colors and shapes, and then it's revealed to be Papua New Guinea. The sheer stamina required to accurately pull Papua New Guinea out of your mind at position 135 is just staggering.
Which brings us to the final showdown. Section 4, the impossible hero level. Let's move to and see how this builds to the ultimate challenge, asking the viewer directly, impossible level? Are you ready to be a hero? It frames this final segment not just as a trivia test, but as a monumental achievement. If you've made it this far, the source is literally challenging your very identity as a geography buff. So, do you have what it takes?
So the crucial point here is that this final gauntlet, featuring nations like Tunisia, Armenia, Nepal, Lesotho, Myanmar, and Burundi, is exactly what separates the casual player from a true trivia hero. These flags often feature incredibly intricate designs, highly specific symbols, or completely unique shapes. I mean, take Nepal. It's the only country in the world with a non-rectangular flag. Navigating this obscure terrain requires absolute mastery.
And the source offers absolutely no mercy in the final stretch. It unleashes this rapid-fire barrage of complex nations: San Marino, Sierra Leone, Mauritania, Zambia, Suriname, Micronesia, Eritrea. It is a relentless sprint through the most challenging vexillological designs on the planet, pushing you right to the very edge of the exhaustive 195-country list.
And then, finally, you reach it. Number 195, the absolute end of the quiz. The 195th and final country identified in this monumental source challenge is the tiny island nation of Nauru, which is actually the third smallest country on Earth. If you can successfully identify the flag of Nauru after correctly naming the 194 countries that came before it, well, you've accomplished something truly spectacular.
Which leaves us with one final, very important thought. As the source wraps up this incredible journey, it asks a question that I want to pass straight on to you. Did you achieve hero status? Could you make it through all 195? And perhaps more importantly, now that you've seen how a massive topic like this can be broken down and conquered step by step, what are you going to pick for your next challenge? Keep that curiosity alive, keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.